Good morning everyone, and I am the group 9 and we are going to discuss about the chapter 6, which is the law enforcement planning. So later on we will understand or we will learn what is our objectives. So first is that we have to identify what is planning. Planning, it is what we call ano yung mga dapat gawin or what is need to be done for us as a future law enforcement. We have our we're going to the operation. Of course, we need to what we call that have a plan. We have to plan or something that kailangan natin gawin sa isang operation. And of course, we have a plan. So, ano yung pagkakaiba ng plan at saka planning? Of course, they have the different between the two. The plan, it is the organized schedule or sequences. Meaning to say that every organization, like the law enforcement officer, before they will go to conduct some activity, they will just have a plan or they will have a settled plan. Meaning to say, naka-schedule na or naka-sequence na. Hindi sila pwedeng pupunta on that activity or operation without a plan. So, they have their schedule time, schedule day kung kailan sila magpa-plan. If ever na mayroon silang mga pupuntahan ng mga operation, they will first conduct a plan. And we have also the police planning. Kanina sinabi ko what is planning, and now we have the police planning. Ano yung police planning pala? So, police planning, it is police planning, ito yung tinatawag natin na kung ano yung mga naplano nyo, kung ano yung mga na plano nyo as a law enforcement officer. This is the time na kailangan mong malaman or kailangan mong malaman kung ano yung mga hindi dapat gawin sa isang operation, right? Kung ano yung dapat gawin mo sa isang operation to improve or to have the effectiveness of the law enforcement officer. You as a police or you as a law enforcement officer, you know how to conduct or alam mo kung ano yung dapat mong gawin sa isang operation. And of course, you have your what we call enough knowledge about that. That is the police planning. And we have also here the operational planning. So, ano yung operational planning? Operational planning, it means that this is the preparation and development, or it is the procedures of the it is the procedure for those activity, or this is the procedures and guidelines, right? It is the guidelines kung ano yung dapat mong gawin as a law enforcement officer bago ka pumunta sa isang operation. You have to plan. Kaya nga tinawag natin na operational planning. Means that it is the procedure, it is the what we call the procedure and guidelines ng isang law enforcement officer bago pumunta sa mga iba't ibang activity. And we have also the police operational planning. So, ano yung nasa police operational planning? So, these are the what we call those police would like to find the procedures and guidelines ng isang law enforcement officers, if they conduct it well, or ano yung mga kulang na ginawa nila sa isang activity or sa isang operation. They would like to find some what we call some procedures or guidelines kung may kulang or tama ba, right? They will have to conduct observation, of course, para malaman nila if tama ba or may mga kulang na kinakandak ang isang police operational planning. And of course, before the police operational planning, bago sila pumunta sa isang operation, they have first to conduct a plan, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina. Kasi a law enforcement officers will not go to the specific location or to the specific operation if they have not yet ready to go, if they are not yet no plan. Before sila pumunta sa isang operation, they must be ready. And that is one of the most important of the law enforcement officer. And of course, we have the steps in planning process. First, we have the defining goal or objectives. So, as a law enforcement officer, you have a goal. You have a goal and objectives. So, what is your goal as a law enforcement officer? What is your objectives? Of course, our objectives is to save or to protect those life who put in dangers. That is our objectives, and our goals is to save them. Our goals is to gain their life na makuha natin sa mga what we call risky situation. For example, in the operation, Minau stage. So ano yung goal mo? Ano yung goal mo sa isang ano yung goal mo on that situation? Of course, yung now stage, yung goal mo is makuha yun. Yung objective mo, maligtas yung objective mo at saka goal mo, makuha mo yung tao na andon sa risky situation. And makuha mo yung mga suspect on that risky situation. That is your goal as a law enforcement officer. And of course, the two steps is we have the collecting information. So before you go on that specific what we call operation or activity, of course you have to collect or gather some information. Kasi hindi ka pwede pumunta on that specific operation or activity if you didn't know kung ano ba talaga andon. If you have no information, paano ka pupunta doon? Paano ka magkakandak ng operation if you don't have any information? Kaya it is important to collect or gather some information about that specific operation, right? Then we have the step 3, which is the analyzing information. Kapag nakakuha ka naman ng mga information on that anonymous person, of course you have to analyze it. If those information is authentic or tama ba lahat ng information na binigay niya, you have to analyze it. Hindi yung pupunta ka agad if you don't analyze it, kasi there are many circumstances na pwedeng mali or hindi totoo yung mga information na nakuha mo. Kaya dapat you have to analyze it. Then after you analyze it, kung tama ba yung lahat ng information mo, you have to making a plan. We have the step 4, which is making a plan. And after that, you have to making a plan na andun nga yung confirm nga you have the suspect. You have the suspect there and out there. Of course, you have to conduct a plan. Gagawa kayo ng plan kung ano yung dapat gawin ninyo as a law enforcement officers. After that, we have the step 6. Step 5 rather, which is the implement the plan. kapag nagawa na yung plan, you have to implement it. Why? Ba't kailangan implement? Of course, if you already have the plan, you have to implement it. Bakit kailangan implement, di ba? Of course, hindi ka gagawa ng plan if you have no idea, or if you have no if you have no idea kung paano to i-implement. Kung gagawa ka ng plan, make sure na your plan it is the very what we call kung gagawa ka ng plan, dapat nakaayon ito sa mga operasyon, nakaayon ito sa sitwasyon kung ano yung pupuntahan mo doon. And then, kapag nakagawa ka, implement it. And after mo ma-implement it, kung after mo na-implement yung plano mo, kung plano nyo ng mga organization as a law enforcement officer, you have to monitor the plan. Bakit? Bakit kailangan pa i-monitor yung plan? Kasi there are circumstances also na sometimes you have to monitor it kasi hindi mo alam kung ano yung magiging mangyari, or kung ano ba yung totally outcome ng isang situation. Kaya you have to monitor the plan. It is the most important, of course, importante ito. Itong 6 steps na to is very important, no? As a law enforcement officer, we have to, what we call, to apply those 6 steps in planning process. And that's my groupmate will continue the discussion.
So, let's continue the discussion. In law enforcement, we have decision making. Decision making, it is a process that the law enforcement officer, or the one who conduct the investigation or investigate any criminal case, that make the best decision. And also, in decision making process, it is also a method of gathering information related to what decision that made. And in decision making also, we have 7 steps when we conduct an investigation or any kind of case. So, step 1, identify the decision. So, like for example, in hostage situation, the manager or the team leader should decide what decision in that particular situation. Then we have step 2, gathering relevant information. So in gathering relevant information, the manager or team leader needs to collect information related to that situation. And also, the team leader should also collect any sources regarding to the investigation that he or she conducted. Then we have step 3, identify the alternative. So after the team leader collects information regarding to that cases or situation, he decided what possible action that needs or use in that specific situation. And also, he needs to make another action for in case na hindi swak ang isang action na ginawa niya. Then next, step 4, with the evidence. So this kind of step, the team leader or the manager compare each action that results positive at the end, and he or she needs to evaluate if their first step meet or resolve through action that he used. Step 5, choose among alternatives. So after the team leader collect all evidence and the team leader match each action and he collect yung the best one action. And also, after step 5, we have step 6, then take an action. So then the team leader will conduct a meeting to their selected officer regarding what action for that particular situation. And then last, we have step 7, review of the decision and consequences. So this final step is the team leader will review whether it's resolved the need identified in step 1, if the decision that he made will at the end, and if that situation isn't matched to step 1, then the team leader needs to give another decision or take another action.
So next is the categories of plan in an organization. So there are 3 categories in which plans are classified in an organization. So first is the category 1, time dimension in planning. Time is important variable in planning process. The time dimension of planning is related to the requirements of the organization and kind of business. So the time dimension in planning refers to the consideration of time in the process of setting goals, making decisions, and implementing strategies. This involves the understanding the impact of time in various aspects of planning, like the duration of activities, the sequence of the events, and the timing of the resource allocation. So, of course, in planning, the time dimension can help to determine the time frame within which objectives and targets can be achieved. This involves the estimating the time required for different activities, setting deadlines, and creating timelines or schedules that outline the order and timing of tasks. The dimension also helps in prioritizing the activities and allocating resources efficiently. According to the time dimension planning period, it is divided into 3, which are the long-range planning, intermediate-range planning, and short-range planning. So first, the long-range planning, it is a long-term plans are for the long-term objectives of the organization. It defines the mission of the organization and outlines its major strategies and policies. So long-range planning is a strategic process that organizations undertake to set achievable goals and objectives for the future. It involves analyzing current market conditions, identifying potential opportunities and threats, and developing strategies to navigate through them. So, this type of planning typically spans several years and requires a comprehensive understanding of organizations' external capabilities and external environment. So, the period of long-term planning may extend from 1 year to 20 years and more. It is for 5 years to 10 years. It is one of the crucial aspects of long-range planning is the identification of key trends and the development that may impact the organization's industry. The next is the intermediate range planning. So, intermediate range planning usually covers the period from 6 to 18 months in the future. It refers to the plans which determine quantity and quality, efforts, and accomplishment. So, intermediate range planning involves setting goals and developing strategies to achieve them within the time frame of 1 to 3 years. This type of planning bridges the gap between short-term operational and long-term operation strategic planning. It, it focuses on the allocation of resources, implementation of projects, and overall direction of an organization. It also refers to the process of determining the contribution and efforts that can make or provide with allocated resources. And then lastly, the short range planning. Short-range plans generally apply to a specific time frame in which a specific series of operation will be carried out, assessed, and measured. So, short-range planning involves setting specific goals and creating detailed action plans to achieve those goals within a relative short time frame. That usually covers the period from 1 day to 6 months. This planning focuses on the immediate future and ensures the day-to-day operations run smoothly while also addressing any emerging challenges or opportunities. That's all.